Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello, welcome to the 7th week of this course Marketing Management 2 and last week we had been discussing marketing channels, distribution, and then we concluded with various issues relating to retail marketing. Now in this retail marketing management there are a couple of other interesting sides which we would be discussing in this session and maybe in the next session. The first topic that I want to take up is this concept of merchandising management. Merchandising as a term is very closely associated with retailing because it fundamentally means planning, developing and presenting product lines for identified target retail markets with regard to pricing, assortment, styling and timing while meeting the company's financial goals. That is the definition that you have on this screen. So, as you can see here, it is like all the functions of marketing or the goals of marketing when applied to the area of retailing and with respect to particularly fast moving consumer goods, we are in the realm of merchandising. So, merchandising, what we want to do therefore in this planning, developing and presenting product lines for identified target markets. So, we have to find the right mix or assortment, right mix of products which will be on the shelves, the right quality, the right quantity, the right price, right time, right place. So, it is a holistic approach to fast moving consumer goods retailing. Very interestingly, these are products where there are, like for example, you see here a new item, right time, because these are items where seasonality, for example, different festivals will need more supply of edible oil or ghee and other kinds of frying agents in particularly in India, because all festival food will be usually fried in this South Asian environment and therefore the consumption of edible oil goes up. So, the merchandising managers will be arranging bigger stocks for such items during Diwali or Durga Puja and such festivals. And then again the availability at the right place, like for example, if there is a Kumbh Mela in Allahabad, then there will be certain kind of merchandising, like whether it is soap or whether it is tea or whether it is packaged milk. All these the demand will steeply go up during that period of couple of months, and therefore at that point of time in Allahabad, in all at all distribution points, at retail points, these items should be available in plenty, because the demand will be exceptionally different and higher at this point of time. So, time, occasion based decisions on quality, quantity, product mix on retail shelves, that is the job of the merchandising management. So, the whole idea is that we want to maximize the sales and profits of a particular category. Now, this category is also a new terminology that we are introducing, category management, very closely associated with merchandising management. So, category usually means that, say for example, all kinds of sauces, as you see on the picture, tomato sauce, ketchup, chili sauce, maybe sweet and sour sauce, all kinds of sauce. So, this is a category, this is a category of sauce. And during the winter festive seasons, where these will be in much higher demand, and this category management means it follows the 20-80 principle. That means 80% of the sales and possibly profits also will come from 20% products, and which 20%, that may change time to time, that may change place to place. So, the category management in Mumbai or Western India will be different from category management in Southern India. So, the sale of these kind of sauces will be much higher in Western India or maybe in Northern India, but in Southern India there may be a corresponding related category of various kinds of packaged chutneys and so on, which will be so the composition of the category will change depending on the geography, depending on time of the year, depending on the other regional festival occasions and so on. So, category management by say somebody like Big Bazaar is actually a highly technical function. So, increasingly lot of computer analytics of real time data coming from the point of sale in all the retail outlets are analyzed using various kinds of tools and models, and based on that and the different factors like season, week, weather. So, if there is a sudden chill, the demand for tea will perhaps go up. So, all these correlations and to what extent it affects, I mean, if 5-degree fall in temperature, in what percentage it will increase the demand of tea or sugar. These are the kind of models and analytics that are provided today by modern powerful these kind of category management software. And so, real time data collection from the point of sale and aggregating that data over time to observe patterns, to observe seasonality, to understand different types of events that are coming up based on that predictive analytics. So, this is a very important area which has vastly improved the financial performance of retail marketing and particularly merchandising. And so, the category management and the merchandising management people in large retailers like Big Bazaar across the nation will be using all these results to maximize the predictive utility to understand the consumer needs and its variations over time, geography and so on. So, they will be changing in big retailers like Big Bazaar or Reliance Fresh or Spencer's. They will be changing their assortment, the number of items available in each category and the varieties available in each category. They will be changing those dynamically based on the inputs that they are receiving from the analytics software. So, today these software and are powerful enough that we can actually guide merchandising managers, category managers even at the SKU. SKU is the store keeping unit. That means a particular type of soap, how many of those soaps in what all sizes should be stored at a supermarket near say IIT Kanpur can be determined by this kind of software by observing the consumption pattern over time and by doing analytics of real time data. So, obviously, the advantages are many. These category management evaluates different trends and brands and products and provides the best combination, which we call product assortment, better usage of shelf space in the store. That is the, in fact, many times we will be measuring the performance of a retail outlet by inventory turnover per square feet or per shelf, how much, what turnover is happening of the, that means how many rupees have been turned, how many times of a particular shelf, the items stored on that shelf. That maximization of that turnover is obviously the aim of category management, so that we have the best usage, optimal usage of our shelves as well as our working capital, which is blocked in that inventory that is on the shelf. And its purpose is to see that we are not out of stock as well as we are not overstocked. That means the inventory should not be slow moving or becoming sluggish. On the other hand, we should not lose the sales opportunity that we have to turn away customer because we are out of stock. So, it is a intricate, it appears the statement is simple, but to achieve it, if you think about an organization like Big Bazaar or Spencer, who have outlets across the country and so many shelves, so many thousands of square feet of shelves, where thousands and thousands of different types of SKUs are stored. So, you have to see that each square feet, each square inch is giving us the optimal return is sounds simple, but that not being out of stock and not being overstocked is needs a very fine control, and it needs lot of real time control. And as you can understand, so today if 20 items from one shelf is sold, you would like that by night those 20 items are replenished on the shelf. But if the time of the year is different, then if today 20 items are sold, maybe the restocking should happen at the level of 10 SKUs. These are the predictions that are provided by merchandising and category management software and the professionals who use those analytics to provide that input. And they have to be backed up by the supply chain management, the transportation arrangement, the location of the warehouse from where replenishment will be made. All these will have to operate as a total integrated synchronized system to see that this per shelf we optimize the turnover. And the whole idea is that we should be able to capture changes ahead of time, so that we are in position next day when the store opens with respect to the demand we are likely to face. There will be some leniency with respect to, there may be some plus minus error zone, but generally that is the whole idea. The problems obviously you can say see that why category management may not fully work is that the software may not function very well, and it is often human beings are not really predictable. You can observe patterns, but there can be big change suddenly due to sudden drop in temperature and sudden spurt in certain types of demands. So, in winter, as if suddenly the temperature is much higher than what you would have expected with respect to the sale of say thermal wear or certain types of warm clothing may not happen. It may, then the demand will be sluggish. So, and also there are so many, you can see this picture, suppose this is a fresh vegetable outlet and like somebody like Reliance Fresh, and if they have to do category management, they have to manage the possible demand pattern of so many different items. So, it takes a lot of time and energy even though the software will help you. So, it may go wrong. So, you will have to make a decision to what extent you will plan and to what extent you will let it be. I will now discuss also in merchandising this issue about private label. We discussed this point a little to some extent earlier in an earlier session, but today this is becoming very important in developed countries like 2/5 in US, 1/3 in UK, 1/4 in France. This is the kind of market share which at private labels. Private label means as we discussed, retailer's own label which will be competing with the national brands. So, whether say spices, as we were discussing the other day, may be competing with other famous brands of spices. So, Spencer will have their own brand of spices which will be competing with Everest or other national brands of spices, and they will be co-located on the shelf, and the big brand owners are now compelled to accept this coexistence of a competitive brand from the retailer because of the power that the retailers are continuously gaining. The private label advantages are it can help to develop some kind of closer relationship with the customer, brand loyalty, higher profit, and but the disadvantage is that these will not be as strongly promoted in national media. So, therefore, they will have to operate at a lower price level. That is true for even countries like Japan, China, India, everywhere that happens. This is a rough study made from Kolkata. Our students did this study, and we found that private labels today in India, it still has a very small market share, even though it is growing very fast. So, we found that in 2015 private label had only about 0.5% market share, but the relative growth was almost 50% 2014 to 15 as opposed to overall growth of about 25% in organized retailing. I think we did 2-3 categories like spices and some packaged noodles and some of these other types of food items, beverage items. And but almost all the top retailers, whether Big Bazaar, whether Spencer's, whether Reliance, they do have. So, 93.3%, this is of course just as I said a rough data from one particular city, they all have private labels. So, basically we can see that the private label business is today small, but it is rapidly growing, and over the years this will form an important part of merchandising. And obviously, this being the retail store's own brand, they have a better control on their supply chain. So, from a merchandising or a category management perspective, the private labels provide a little better facility. So, that is our the conclusion of our session on merchandising, category management in retail marketing, and we will take up the next topic tomorrow to conclude our discussion on retail marketing. Thank you.